everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to 31 Days of Tarot. This is a list of prompts put out by Ethony. It's super fun. I'm really glad to be participating. Make sure that you check out the link down below. I will link to Ethony's introductory video and she should have a list hopefully going, I think, at some point on her channel of who all is participating. So definitely check that out. I am going to be conquering now my top 5 tarot decks of 2018. So these are either books that were new to my collection in 2018 or books that were released in 2018. I don't pay attention to release dates, so these are books that were new to my collection in 2018, and I got lots to talk about, but we'll see. I'll try to keep it short. We'll see if I can actually do that. I also can't talk, just so you know. Okay, so first book I want to talk to, which should come as no surprise to any of you, is Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sinova. So this was such a fun acquisition for me this year. I don't, at this point, feel like I go to tarot books a lot, but this one is so good. If you are brand new to tarot, or even if you've been reading for a bit and you just want a fresh take on the cards, this is the one I would recommend every single time. There's a few other books that I haven't read that also might be good, but I can't recommend those because I haven't read them. This one I've read the crap out of, and you guys will be used to seeing this because I also use this the perspectives from this book in my Tarot Memoirs series, which I put up every Sunday. Yeah, I'm pretty well through. I guess we're more than halfway through that series now, but I always read some excerpts that I've highlighted from this book in that series, and yeah, definitely recommend. Nice, fresh, fun outlook. It's an easy read. It doesn't read heavy or heady at all. It's really great to go through. And if you just want a good catch-all book to quickly flip to, I just dropped my bookmark. That's okay. It wasn't holding anything important. Just so you can quickly flip to a meaning for whatever deck you might be using, this is definitely a really, really good one. The next deck that I want to talk about, which also should come as no surprise to you for pretty much the same reason, well, different reasons, but you know, is Betty Bellwin's Holistic Tarot. This is a fantastic resource. It is chock full of tons of info. Where I have marked the pages here with color is where the card definitions are, which should tell you a lot about what this book entails. I have not read the whole thing cover to cover, but I have read some pretty decent chunks of it. There's information here on different ways to read the cards, on working with significators, on different methods for doing different types of readings. There is some fantastic description information in here. There's also some wonderful tables. There's information that's fantastic on court cards in here. Yeah, it's a really, really great resource. There's lots of correspondences. Benebell does an amazing job listing her references. There's just, if I had to have just one tarot book for forever, this is the one that I would pick. For no other reason than it's got so much good stuff. I also have to say that the perspective in this book is very earthy. Maybe earthy is not the right word. It's grounded is probably a better word. It's definitely got the slant of reading for personal growth, it's got a more psychological aspect to the readings. It's not super woo in its approach. It actually is very practical and applicable to just about any situation. It's about reading for yourself. It's about reading for clients. It's about reading for other people. It covers the whole gambit. So it's a pretty definitive resource and one that I am so glad that I picked up in 2018. I had seen pictures of this like on Amazon and I was like, oh, okay, it's a book on tarot. And then I saw it at a bookstore and saw this on the shelf and I was like, what? So I had no idea it was this big until I held it in my hands. So yeah, this is fantastic and definitely recommend it. Also, not going to be a surprise, Tarot on Earth by Tom Benjamin. I have to admit, so I did the Tarot de Marseille on Earth series, which I will put in the link in the cards, on the playlist for those videos. This is the book that I chose to learn Marseille with. Tom Benjamin's outlook on tarot reading is extremely earthy and practical, which is why it's called Tarot on Earth. There is a complete lack of woo. It's very math. It's very like this plus this equals this in a reading. So it's extremely good for those of you who are more left-brained or who want a more analytical approach, or if you want to get better with your pip cards. So any pip decks, any Marseille decks, you just get like 7 or 8 cups or whatever it might be on your card. You don't get scenes that depict a situation. And what's nice about that is that it gives you space and opportunity to expand what the card could mean. And this book does an amazing job with the pips. I also found that one of the things this book, let me back up. What this book does very, very well is it invites you into your own brain to determine what the cards are going to mean for you. This does not tell you what they are supposed to mean necessarily. It's more a course on developing your own set of meanings for the pip cards. Also, it helps you to develop your own set of meanings for the court cards. And it kind of helps you put all of that together so that you can read with any deck. And because it has you go through the whole process of defining your own meanings, it's super helpful and memorable. I think that if I had tried to sort of memorize numerology, it wouldn't have had quite the same impact. So this has had quite a significant impact on the way that I read. And while the book itself, to me, did get a little bit difficult in the second half, just in keeping my attention, it did give me so much, and I cannot thank him enough for this work. I think it was really useful. I definitely think it's worth picking up. If you only do the pip section in this entire book, if that's all you do, and you should go through the whole thing, but if you only do the pip section, you will have a very unique and memorable experience, I think. So I really do recommend this. If you pick this up and you want somebody to keep you company along the way, I do have that weekly series. It's just wrapping up, and I think you would definitely enjoy it. And those videos are going to be there forever, so you can definitely just follow them through at your own pace and kind of use the videos as check-in points along the way. See what my thoughts were as I went through it, as you go through it, and it's spoiler free because you'll be doing it as like right along beside me. So definitely check that out. I will have that linked, but yeah, this is good, and this was a good purchase for me this year. Not pictured, because I can't physically show it. I could show my tablet, but I'm filming on that right now, is the book Journaling the Tarot by Andy Matzner, and I believe it's called Journaling the Tarot. Yeah, it's called Journaling the Tarot. I think there's a subtitle there, but Journaling the Tarot, and what all it is a book of tarot prompts. So for every single card in the tarot deck, that's majors, that's minors, that's courts, everything, there is a list of journal prompts to inquire about, to dig into. And I have been using that book throughout the entire year. I first found out about it from Imogen Walters, and if I remember, I will try to link that in the cards or in the description box down below so that you can view her video about this book. But I found out about it through her. I put it on my Kindle immediately, and I have used it ever since. I really enjoy the questions. They have this wide variety. There's quite a few. There's probably a page and a half minimum for every single card, like just listing journal prompts. It's fantastic. And I do pull several questions, several prompts from that book with at the end of each of my Tarot Memoirs series videos, so that you have something to dig into for your own work alongside that series. So I will, if I haven't already linked Tarot Memoirs in the description box, I will also do that. So there you go. And finally, and I did not actually, I've got a different one I think, but the final book I wanted to mention was the Tarot Playbook by Linda Cowles. Now I think I first heard about this book from a subscriber, Bella, who messaged me and told me about this. This book is really fantastic if you're looking for a different way to connect with your cards that is not just reading tarot. As an example, let me just flip to a random page here. By the way, there are 78 different activities in here, so there's literally one themed after each card. So if I pull it open to the star, here's what the exercise is. Scratch and sniff. That's what it's called. When you look at your cards, what do you hear? They say tarot is a visual medium, but in truth it can be so much more. Not just a pretty face, your deck is bursting with enough sounds, tastes, smells, and textures to turn every reading into a carnival, which explains why the Wheel of Fortune sounds like a merry-go-round and the Page of Wands stinks of hot dogs. Shuffle your deck and turn over the top card. Using the image as a cue, try to figure out what sound the card reminds you of. For example, you might associate the Nine of Wands with the sound of soldiers trudging through mud, or Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. Try to tune into the unique sound of your particular card. Now decide what the card smells like. The Empress might smell of a fragrant garden, but the Hermit isn't known for his personal hygiene and could very well smell of mold. Next, focus on your fingertips and your sense of touch. Look at the scene depicted in the card. The colors, the textures, the location, and the people. Remember that touch can sense hot and cold, hard and soft, rough and smooth, sharp and blunt. Work out what your card makes you feel. The Eight of Pentacles might feel like heavy, oily machinery, while the Queen of Pentacles might feel like luxurious velvet drapes. Finally, smack your lips together and try to taste the card. The moon may be made of cheese, but sometimes it tastes like absinthe. Don't limit yourself to food and drink flavors either. If you think the devil, that's where evil came from. If you think the devil tastes like fetid cow pats, say so, just don't say it to his face. Repeat for each card in the deck or until you collapse from sensory overload. So they're unique. These aren't just like, oh, a spread for each of, no. These are like totally unique activities in here. This is where I got the clue. I didn't get it from here. I found out about it on YouTube. It was a VR that I did, but it came from this book, and it is like a whodunit kind of game. I did that around Samhain time. I will link that video as well. That is an activity that came out of this book. There are things here about like using the cards to come up with excuses why you can't make it into work. Like there are just, it's so much fun. So I might actually do a series on my channel with this book. I don't know if it's still in print. This is the bad news. This copy that I got a hold of was published in 2012, copyright 2012. I think I bought this, I bought this book secondhand. I found a copy of it on Amazon and ordered it. I didn't pay that much for it. I'm sure there's still lots of copies kicking around, and you might also be able to find this in a digital copy. I'm not sure, but love. This was definitely probably one of my most fun purchases of the year. So that is it for today's 31 Days of Tarot Prompt. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.